That's how we can start the video.
I just want to try. Hi guys! So someone said a while ago that we should do a story video about our convention stories, and I was like, that is a really cool idea. So here we are today talking about stories from conventions.
So our first story takes place on a cold and slightly rainy October afternoon when we were getting ready to go to the JCC Dojinka Festival in downtown Toronto, which is like a sub-party off of Anime North for Halloween. And it's supposed to be like a rave, and it has a small dealer's room, and we were like, hey, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
At the time, we were in a dance group called PK4 where we danced to like Japanese songs and stuff. Link to that below if you want to see how our embarrassing video is.
Yeah, and it was me and Erin and two others.
Isabella, who was in PK4, and a guest, which was our friend Nicole. And so Fiona was in charge of getting the directions to this place.
Let me just point out that I am really, really bad at getting directions.
She was the only one who could print things from her computer. Let's just put it that way. So she gave us a map and she's like, thrusted it towards me. She's like, Erin, you're good at maps, you take it. And I'm like, okay, so I took the map. So we're traveling downtown.
And let me just point out that we are in exposing maid costumes. Not exposing, but
maids. We're maids.
We're maids.
Wigs.
With high heels.
Yeah. So we get on the train, we go downtown, and we take the subway, and we get off at somewhere. I don't remember.
Me either.
And the map says from the station that we're at, it's a 20 minutes to our destination. And we're just like,
20 minutes?
That's great. We could just walk.
Yeah.
So we start walking, and 10 minutes pass. We're like, all right. We look at the map, and we haven't even hit the first street on the map yet.
Yeah, we're like, wait a second.
And then we keep walking, and it's been 20 minutes. And then we keep walking, and it's been 30 minutes. And we keep walking, and it's been an hour and a half. And we keep walking, it's been 2.5 hours until we get to where we're going. It's dark. It's like 7:30 at night.
Our shoes were off at this point. We had been wandering the streets with no shoes on.
And it was pouring rain.
And you know what I did? You know what? This is fully my mistake. I did how long it would take to get to this place by car. It's 20 minutes by car. It was 20 minutes to get there by car. So you can imagine by walking.
See, and the thing is, if we were walking 2 hours to actual Anime North, it would have been fine because there would have been something pretty wicked waiting for us at the end.
Yeah, and if we had proper
this
shoes.
Place sucked.
I'm sorry.
There was like 4 people in the rave. It was terrible. The dealer's room was way overpriced.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was pretty poopy, and it just we kind of like.
So we were there for like an hour and a half, and then we left. We took the bus this time, and it took like literally 15 minutes.
Yeah, honestly, and it was funny because when we were halfway there, one of our friends was like, and we'd already been walking for an hour at this point, and it's like pitch black out, and she was like, maybe we should just turn back, and we're just like, no.
I have never been so angry in my entire life. I was like, you want to walk back? Fine, but I'm gonna keep going.
So another one, this is like, this kind of leads, this is...
It was the same thing.
It was the same convention, and at this point, we had just arrived at the subway station after taking the bus. And we are so exhausted. Our wigs were like all over the place.
It's like 11 o'clock at night.
It was like, yeah, and we literally looked so disgusting. And we're like stumbling, like I'm limping because my heels are killing me. And we're all stumbling towards our subway, and all of a sudden we turn around and there's this like guy, and he's just like, we had cat paws on because we were like, and cat ears, and we were like wearing maid costumes. Like, there, we'll insert a picture here. We'll insert a picture. Anyway, he was like, pss, 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 pss.
Here, pussycats, here, pussycats.
You girls are beautiful. And we were just like, that reaction too. And you know what? It would have been one thing if Channing Tatum was saying that to me, but
he was old and creepy as fuck.
Yeah, and he was wearing like a trench coat, and like, and he meant he was gonna be like, look at these.
So there was this guy.
We'll call him Timmy.
We'll call him Timmy. That's not his real name, but we'll call him Timmy McGee. Anyway, so Timmy McGee, we met him while we were waiting in line for hot dogs. And he just happened to be the first person we ever met at a convention at Anime North.
Yeah.
We were like,
and people always talk about like meeting people at conventions, and
we were just like, this is so exciting.
wow, we met someone.
And you know, we hung out with him for like about an hour, and we're like, okay, we're ready to go separate ways. So we're like, see you later, Timmy McGee.
Goodbye.
And we walked away. And later on, about maybe like an hour and a half later, we got kind of tired, so we sat down to just chill out and just rest our feet. And then he strolls up to us and sits down. He's like, hey guys, good to see you again. And we're just like,
Hi. We're at this point, we're not like totally creeped out, but we're just kind of like, oh, that was kind of a little weird. Hi.
and then he sat with us and stayed for about another 2 hours.
We didn't really think anything of it. He kind of followed us around for a while, and then we went our separate ways again.
And we didn't see him for the rest of the day. That was fine. And the next day we switched cosplays. I was a boy one day, and then a girl another day.
Yeah.
So I looked very different. And Fiona looked pretty different. She had a different wig on, different makeup. It was very different. It was very different. Anyway, so we're just sitting in the hotel, just like on that downstairs, like the walkable level. And we're just sitting against the wall, chilling. And he shows up again. And he's like, hey guys. And then he's sitting down and he's like, man, I wish I could play the Pocky game right now. And then he looks at Fiona.
Yeah.
And then didn't he put his hand on? Like,
Yeah, and he had his hand on like my leg. And like, I am just saying, I was not single at that time.
She had a boyfriend.
It was really weird. And like, the thing is that one day, that second day, that wasn't the first time we'd met him. I think we'd met him like several other times during this day.
It was
like,
weird.
Like at least 3 times on the first day, and then like twice on the second day. It was really weird.
It gets
But it
weirder.
doesn't stop here.
So after the convention, he finds us on Facebook and proceeds to ask Fiona to his prom.
Literally, like,
She politely said no.
because I was just like, oh no, I'm not really.
And as soon as she was like, no, he moved on to the next. And he messaged me, it was around my birthday at this time, and he was like, oh, I bought you lots of makeup, we should meet up and stuff at Square One. And I was like, sure, I'd love to. And then he said, the icing on the cake for me when I stopped talking to him, if it seems like I'm hitting on you, I probably am. And I'm just like,
No shit, Sherlock.
okay, goodbye.
And then not only that, but I'm pretty sure he tried to talk to like
Jillian.
Yeah.
And he never even met her.
No, he never met Jillian, and yet he still attempted to talk to her. Another one of our very close friends.
Disturbing.
So the next day, not the next day, this is like, so we stopped talking to him. So a whole nother year goes by, we haven't heard anything from Timmy.
And it's Anime North 2014.
Yeah, and we're just like, new year. And Erin was like, we're going to the convention. She's like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we met Timmy at Anime North again this year? And I was just like, honestly, the chance of that happening is like slim to nothing.
And this is when we're on the bus.
Yeah, there's so many people here, like this is not happening. So
we get off the bus and we're at the convention, and there's like 2 lines. So there's like 1 line and there's 2 lines that one goes in and then we go in. And we're in the second line. And I look over and directly beside us is Timmy.
like if I stuck my arm out, I could have easily touched his back. That's how far away we were. The convention had not even started.
We were there for 20 minutes. The convention didn't start till 3 and it was 1. It was pre-registration pickup.
And we saw him right there. And I was just like, I started like flipping.
By some stroke of luck, he didn't recognize us.
No, or either he did and we just decided to save, like it was almost like a mutual agreement to save each other the embarrassment, like as an entire group. He was with a different group at this point. I'm sure he had, bless you, I'm sure he had new targets at this point. Okay, so this is another story. This is on the Saturday of Anime North 2015, and I had 2014. I had decided to construct, I don't know what possessed me to do this enormous, ginormous robotic arms that I had to carry. Yeah, I'll insert a picture here. And I had to carry them all day. And let me tell you, when people asked, I don't think I got a single comment where it was like, wow, really good cosplay, or like I did, but like the first thing that came out of people's mouth was mostly like, how heavy are those? Is those as heavy as they look?
Let's say Erin
and they
should win the best friend of the year award.
Erin literally, she saved me because halfway throughout the day, these things were falling apart and
I had to follow her around and fix her cosplay like all day.
Yeah, like my hood would be falling down and I could not use my arm. So I was like, Erin, can you please pull up my hood? Erin, can you please scratch my back? Erin, please, can you do this? Please, can you do this?
It's okay, my cosplay wasn't big on that day, so it wasn't a big deal.
But honest to God, it was, and so throughout the day,
the handle that she used to carry one of the arms completely snapped off, which means she could not carry it.
It was done.
There was, however, an area inside the convention building called Cosplay Repair, where it had hot glue guns and a bunch of stuff where you could fix your cosplays. Halfway through the day, the handle that she used to carry the arm completely snapped off. So she couldn't carry it the way she was meant to carry it anymore, and she was like, Erin, I have to carry this one, can you please carry this? Now let me put into context. If I put the arm against my body while I was standing up, it came to here.
Yeah.
It was big. It was almost the same height as me.
And she's 5'3".
So I grabbed this thing and I lift it up. At this point, I'm just holding it and I'm just walking. I can't see anything, she's leading. We get in, and I've been carrying this. It took about, I'd like to say because it was hot and there's a lot of people, it took about 15 minutes to get inside from where we were. And I'm just like, and I'm like dragging it, and I'm like,
yeah.
So we get to the convention, and we're like hot gluing it, and we're like taping it.
And I'd only put it down when I had to take a picture. Aside from that, it was always up.
So we wrapped it up, and we taped it, and we fixed everything, so it was fixed. But by the time the end of the day rolled around, it broke again. And her dad was gonna meet us to pick them up early because we couldn't carry it anymore. So we told him we were gonna meet him at the edge of the hotel. We're standing there, it's been about 20 minutes and he didn't show up, so she called him and he's at the Timmy's on the other end of the convention. So we have to carry these things all the way to the other side. So we're carrying it and carrying it, and this is hurting. I can't carry this the way I was carrying it anymore.
Yeah, it's like such an awkward thing to hold.
So I did what any decent, normal person would do. I lift it up and I put it on my head and I'm carrying it like this.
And we're like crossing over the street with a set of lights and all you see is this like little girl dressed up as Carrie Pommy with this like giant arm on her head and she's like, move away! And we're like literally pushing people out of the way. We're like, excuse me, I'm sorry.
I have this thing on my head and it's heavy and it's got nails sticking out of it everywhere and I'm just like,
Let me just say it looked great. I have to say it looked great, but I did not build it properly.
It was not conventional. The wood frame was a bad idea.
Yeah, it looked great, but it was not something that you could carry through a convention.
Not conventional.
No. Oh, yeah.
That's all for our convention stories for now. If you like this, let us know down below and we'll make another one eventually. We have lots of stories.
Yeah, oh yeah, we could sit here and talk for hours.
If you guys also want to see pictures of any of our kind of costumes, just let us know, because we can do that, but we need to know so we can set it all up.
We don't want to like make all these videos and no one really watches them. Alright guys, so that's all for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't done that already.
And don't forget to follow us on Twitter.
We were tweeting about how much we hate the cold, so you can
It's funny, you'll like it.
You can be involved in that.